Hi friends. Today I want to talk to you about an interesting trip I made this morning. I had to go to DMV to change my license, and so I had an appointment. Of course, they do not take you if you have no appointments. So do not even try to go. We drove up, and some guy was telling us, "Oh, if you have no appointment, just turn around and go back, because they won't take you in." So good thing we had an appointment. I went in and everybody had to wear a mask. There was like a big line before you walk in, before you even enter the building. And there were like people outside and they were asking you questions like, why are you here? And I was there with my husband, but they're like, nope, only you can go by yourself. You can't go with your husband. Um, and then everybody has to stand like 6 feet distance, social distancing. And even before you went inside. Then a person would like guide you in, and then you walk in, and there was like a line on the ground, on the floor where you can stand. And when they would like take you in, and they would ask you questions while you were there. And then, of course, you were given a number to wait. There was only a few seats in the lobby, and like the seats were 6 feet apart, so you could only sit at a certain place. And all the employees were wearing masks, and every person who walked in was wearing a mask as well. So I was waiting there, and everything went well, and everything was still very slow process like always. But they only took appointments, and I think the people were pretty scared. A lot of people were probably unhappy that they had to work and be unsafe. Maybe they felt unsafe because a lot of people were kind of rude and kind of like you would ask them questions and they were like, just stand back, don't come closer. And you were like, okay. And then like, okay, they would like talk to you and they're like, okay, come closer. So you would walk up and they're like, here, sign here. As soon as you sign, they're like, go back. I'm like, okay. And you step back, and then so it's back and forth, back and forth. And like, okay, come, give me your driver license, and come closer. Okay, come back, go back, stand behind the yellow line. So it's like back and forth constantly. And then, so I was helped, and then finally, the lady was like, okay, now go and take your photo, which I did. And the lady who was taking my photo was very, very, very scared. She was wearing a mask, she was wearing gloves, and she was like, don't give me your paper, just stand back and show it to me. I just want to see it from far away. And she was like standing far away from me, and she was looking at it, like trying to see what I needed, I guess. And well, she's doing photos, so I'm sure it's self-explanatory. So she took my picture, and then she's like, well, she's like, take your mask so I can take your picture. So she took my picture, and then she's like, and she was like spraying her hands constantly. She's like, sign here, do this, and put your finger here. And then she was constantly spraying her hands because she was scared. Even though she was wearing a mask and she was wearing gloves, she kept spraying herself because she was scared of the virus, or she was scared of something going on she was like all unhappy and not smiling. Well, I couldn't tell if she was smiling, but she was just very abrupt and very like, okay, here, okay, you're done, bye. You're like, okay, well, thanks. But I'm glad it was over, and I'm glad it was I did my license, so that's a good thing. I was listening to the news, and they were saying that they're trying to make Sacramento area into stage 3 for a faster processing. So we'll see if it goes through. Oh, did you hear about Hawaii? Hawaii, if you want to travel to Hawaii, don't. It's crazy. They would put you on 14-day quarantine. You can't leave your hotel room. And if you leave the hotel room, they will put you in jail up to a year or a $5,000 fine. So when you get to the airport, when you arrive, they have you sign a form, a legal document stating you are willing to stay in your room for 2 weeks, which is 14 days exactly, or you just turn around and go back from where you came from. So that's what they're saying in Hawaii. Do not even come because they're on deep quarantine and they don't want to get sick, apparently. So that's one of the news. Thanks so much for watching.